All right, we're back, baby. Week 6 in the NFL, and let me tell you something, it's about to be electric. We got some absolute barn burners on the schedule this week, matchups that'll have you glued to your seats. We're talking division rivalries, playoff implications, the whole 9 yards. So buckle up, grab your snacks, and get ready for some football, because we're about to break down the top 5 games you absolutely cannot miss. Let's get after it. Kicking things off on Thursday Night Football, we got ourselves a classic NFC West showdown. This is the kind of matchup that gets fans buzzing and sets the stage for a thrilling night of football. The San Francisco 49ers are heading up to the Pacific Northwest to take on the Seattle Seahawks. It's a rivalry that's always intense, with both teams looking to make a statement. Now both these teams are coming off tough losses, so you know they're going to be hungry for a W. The stakes are high and the pressure is on to bounce back and keep their playoff hopes alive. The Niners, they've had a bit of a rough go on the road this season, dropping both their games away from Levi's Stadium. Road games are always challenging, and the Niners have felt that sting. They got shut out in Week 2 against the Panthers, and then barely put up any points against the Browns in Week 4. Their offense has struggled to find its rhythm away from home. They're going to need to find a way to get that offense rolling on the road if they want to make a run at this thing. Consistency and execution will be key for them to turn things around. And speaking of offense, the 49ers are still waiting on Christian McCaffrey to get back to full strength. His presence on the field is a game changer, and they need him at his best. The dude's been battling an Achilles injury, and it's clearly been affecting his explosiveness. Without his usual burst, the Niners' offense has lacked its usual spark. They need CMC back to his old dynamic self if they want to hang with the big dogs in the NFC. His ability to make big plays can turn the tide in any game. Now on the other side, you got the Seahawks, who are coming off a tough loss to the Giants at home. That defeat stung, and they'll be looking to right the ship in front of their home crowd. They gave up a whopping 27 points, which is uncharacteristic for a Pete Carroll-coached defense. Usually known for their stout defense, the Seahawks have some soul-searching to do. They're dealing with some injuries on that side of the ball, so they're going to need some guys to step up. Depth will be tested, and new heroes will need to emerge. But let's talk about the quarterback matchup for a second, because this is where things get interesting. The battle under center could very well decide the outcome of this game. You got Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant himself, going up against Geno Smith, the veteran who's been playing some of the best football of his career. It's a fascinating contrast of styles and experience. Purdy's been solid for the Niners, but he's going to be facing a Seahawks defense that's known for creating turnovers. Ball security will be paramount for him. Geno, on the other hand, has been slinging it all over the field, and he's got a knack for making big plays when it matters most. His leadership and poise have been crucial for the Seahawks. This game is going to come down to which defense can step up and make the big stops when they need them. Defensive resilience and timely plays will be the deciding factors. The Niners have the talent on paper, but they got to stay healthy. Injuries have plagued them, and staying on the field is crucial for their success. The Seahawks, they got to find a way to generate pressure on Purdy and force him into some mistakes. Disrupting his rhythm will be key to their defensive strategy. It's going to be a battle in the trenches, and I wouldn't want to miss it for the world. The intensity, the rivalry, and the stakes make this a must-watch game for any football fan. Next up, we're hopping across the pond to London, England, where the Jacksonville Jaguars are gearing up to host the Chicago Bears. This isn't just any game. It's part of the NFL's International Series, which has been bringing American football to fans around the globe. Now I know what you're thinking. The Jaguars, in London? It might seem unusual, but it's become a tradition that fans eagerly anticipate each year. What in the world is going on here? Well, it's all part of the NFL's effort to grow the game internationally. Believe it or not, the Jags have become somewhat of a regular fixture over in the UK. They've embraced this opportunity to expand their fan base and bring the excitement of NFL football to a new audience. They've been playing games over there for years now, and each time, the atmosphere is electric. The fans in London have really taken to the Jaguars, making them feel right at home, and they've actually built up a pretty decent following. The support from the UK fans has been incredible, and it's clear that the Jaguars have a special place in their hearts. And let me tell you, the Jags seem to love playing in London. The energy from the crowd seems to give them an extra boost. They've won 3 out of their last 4 games across the pond, which is no small feat. This includes some memorable victories that have thrilled their international fans, including a big win over the Broncos earlier this season. That game was a showcase of their talent and determination. They're hoping to keep that momentum going against a Bears team that's been up and down this year. Consistency has been a challenge for the Bears, but they have the potential to surprise. The Bears, on the other hand, have been a bit of an enigma. One week they look like contenders, and the next, they're struggling to find their rhythm. They've shown flashes of brilliance, like when they beat the Chiefs in Week 5, a game that showcased their potential and resilience, but they've also had some head-scratching losses. These inconsistencies have left fans and analysts alike scratching their heads. They're a young team still trying to find their identity, and with youth comes growing pains. However, this also means they have a lot of room to grow and improve, but they've got some exciting pieces on both sides of the ball. Their roster is filled with young talent that can make big plays. This game is going to be all about Justin Fields, the Bears' dynamic young quarterback. Fields has shown flashes of brilliance and has the ability to change the game with his athleticism. Fields has the potential to be a superstar in this league, and games like this are where he can prove his worth. But he's still a bit raw. His decision-making is still developing, and he's learning the ropes of being an NFL quarterback. He's got a cannon for an arm and can make plays with his legs, which makes him a dual-threat quarterback. But he's also prone to making mistakes. Turnovers and missed opportunities have been a part of his learning curve. The Jags' defense is going to have their hands full trying to contain him. They'll need to be sharp and disciplined to keep him in check. On the other side, the Jags will be looking to Trevor Lawrence to continue his impressive play. Lawrence has been showing why he was a top draft pick. Lawrence has taken a big step forward in his development this season, displaying poise and confidence on the field. And he's starting to look like the franchise quarterback everyone thought he could be. His leadership and playmaking abilities have been on full display. If he can avoid turning the ball over, the Jags have a good chance to win this game. Ball security will be key for both teams. This is a huge game for both teams. The stakes are high and both sides will be looking to make a statement. The Jags are trying to keep pace in the AFC South, where every win is crucial in a tight division race. While the Bears are trying to stay relevant in the NFC North, they need this win to keep their playoff hopes alive. It's going to be a fun one to watch, so make sure you tune in. The excitement of NFL football in London is something you won't want to miss. Alright folks, buckle up for this one because we've got ourselves a potential shootout brewing in the AFC North. The Washington Commanders are heading up to Baltimore to take on the Ravens, and let me tell you, these offenses are red hot right now. We're talking about two of the most explosive offenses in the entire league, both averaging over 25 points per game. The Commanders, led by their young stud quarterback, Jaden Daniels, have been absolutely lighting it up through the air. Daniels has been making plays left and right, throwing for over 1,300 yards and 9 touchdowns in just 5 games. He's got a rocket for an arm, he's not afraid to take shots downfield, and he's got a knack for extending plays with his legs. And then you got the Ravens, led by the one and only Lamar Jackson. Lamar is, well, Lamar. He's a one-man highlight reel capable of making defenders look silly with his arm and his legs. He's already rushed for over 300 yards and 3 touchdowns this season, and he's just getting started. So yeah, this game has the potential to be an absolute track meet. Both defenses are going to have their hands full trying to slow down these high-powered offenses. The Commanders' defense has been surprisingly solid this season, but they haven't faced an offense quite like the Ravens. And the Ravens' defense, well, they've been known to give up some yards through the air. This game is going to come down to which quarterback can make the most plays. Can Daniels continue his hot streak and outduel the former MVP, or will Lamar remind everyone why he's one of the most electrifying players in the league? Either way, we're in for a treat. Get ready for a rematch of one of the wildest games of last season, folks. The Detroit Lions are heading down to Jerry World to take on the Dallas Cowboys, and this one has all the makings of an instant classic. The anticipation is palpable, and fans from both sides are gearing up for what promises to be an unforgettable showdown. Last year, these two teams met in Week 7, and it was a back-and-forth affair that went right down to the wire. The game was filled with dramatic moments, clutch plays, and heart-stopping action that kept everyone on the edge of their seats. The Cowboys ended up pulling out a narrow victory, but not without some controversy. It was a game that left fans talking for weeks, and the tension between these two teams has only grown since then. Remember that play where the Lions thought they had scored the game-winning touchdown, but it got called back because of a holding penalty? Yeah, that was wild. The call was highly debated and it added fuel to the fire for this upcoming rematch. Well, the Lions are back for revenge and they're looking to prove that they're for real this year. They've been working hard in the offseason, and their determination is evident in every game they've played so far. They've been one of the most surprising teams in the league, and they're coming off a huge win over the defending Super Bowl champion Chiefs. This victory has given them a surge of confidence and they're ready to take on any challenge. Jared Goff has been playing some of the best football of his career, and he's got a plethora of weapons at his disposal. From his pinpoint accuracy to his leadership on the field, Goff has been a key factor in the Lions' success. But the Cowboys are no slouches either. They're a team with a rich history and a roster full of talent, and they're always a tough opponent to beat. They're coming off a tough loss to the 49ers, but they're still one of the most talented teams in the NFC. This loss has only made them more determined to bounce back and prove their mettle. Dak Prescott is back to his old self after a down year last season, and he's got a dynamic duo of receivers in CeeDee Lamb and Brandon Cooks. These playmakers have been instrumental in the Cowboys' offensive strategy, making big plays when it counts. This game is going to come down to which defense can step up and make the big stops. Both teams have shown flashes of brilliance on defense, but consistency will be key. The Lions' defense has been much improved this season, but they're going to have their hands full with Doc and that Cowboys offense. They'll need to bring their A-game to contain the explosive plays. And the Cowboys' defense, well, they're going to need to find a way to slow down Goff and that high-powered Lions offense. It's a challenge they're ready to embrace, knowing the stakes are high. This is a huge game for both teams, with playoff implications on the line. Every play, every decision, every moment will be crucial in determining the outcome. It's going to be a battle in the trenches, and I wouldn't want to miss it for the world. The intensity, the rivalry, the stakes. This is what football is all about. Get ready for an epic clash. And last, but not least, we've got ourselves a Monday Night Football showdown between two of the most storied franchises in NFL history. The Buffalo Bills are heading down to the Meadowlands to take on the New York Jets. And let me tell you, this one has all the makings of an instant classic. The Bills, led by their superstar quarterback Josh Allen, are looking to continue their dominance in the AFC East. They've won the division 3 years in a row, and they're the heavy favorites to make it 4 in a row this year. Allen is one of the most electrifying players in the league, and he's got a plethora of weapons at his disposal. But the Jets are no pushovers this year. They made a huge splash in the offseason by trading for future Hall of Fame quarterback Aaron Rodgers, and they're looking to make some noise in the AFC. Rodgers is still playing at a high level, and he's got a young, talented group of receivers to throw to. This game is going to come down to which defense can step up and make the big stops. The Bills' defense has been one of the best in the league for years now, but they're going to have their hands full with Rodgers and that Jets offense. And the Jets' defense, well, they're going to need to find a way to slow down Allen and that high-powered Bills offense. This is a huge game for both teams, with playoff implications on the line. It's going to be a battle in the trenches, and I wouldn't want to miss it for the world. There you have it, folks. The top 5 games to watch in Week 6 of the NFL season. We've got division rivalries, playoff implications, and some of the best players in the world going head-to-head. It's going to be an action-packed week of football, so make sure you clear your schedules and get ready for some fun. Now, I know you're all thinking the same thing. Pat, you forgot to mention my team's game. And to that I say, hey, I can't fit every single game into this list. But don't worry, I'm sure your team's game will be just as exciting. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the games, everybody. And as always, stay tuned for more NFL coverage right here on the channel. We'll see you next week.